Hey, all you knuckle busters out there, it's Mario again, and we're back with another exciting episode. A couple of things I want to bring up. The pages are all going really well. A lot of you are following us, checking out our stuff and everything. Make sure you hit the subscribe buttons, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, all of them. We're across all the platforms and everything. Share it with your friends and stuff, and go back and check out those old episodes. Also, don't forget Knucklebuster shirts. They're out, American made, okay, American designed. So we've got these out there. They're available, and we want to make sure you guys are getting them out there and enjoy, the great gear and everything. Super soft, excellent material. We went top line for everything. Once again, guys, we're going to do it again this week. All right. We did it last week. First 10 people that go on our Facebook page and say that you've seen this interview, and you're just going to need to name the guest in order to get it. Okay. Or go to the YouTube channel, name the guest, first 10 people there. We'll personally send you out a decal, and you can get it in reflective or you can get it standard. But without further ado, I want to introduce our next guest. She's a fantastic person. Really excited to have her. Unlike some of the guests that we bring on here that I have a close personal relationship, I know of her. I've followed her career, see her stuff all the time, and I'm an admirer like I'm sure a lot of you are. So without further ado, let's introduce Valerie Thompson.
Hi. Hello.
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 So you were scrambling to get on here with us tonight.
I was. I'm a safari girl. I'm not a chrome girl, but I am a chrome girl. I'm a Harley Davidson.
Yes, I know
This
you are.
will always bring me home.
Yes, I love that saying. I absolutely love it. So I like to, obviously you've got this incredible career with drag racing, with setting land speed records out on the salt flats, and a great ambassador to the sport and many capacities and stuff like that. But what I don't think a lot of people know is, what got you kind of into two wheels and the sport and everything to start with. I mean, now are you originally from Arizona, or did you just?
Well, I was born and raised in Tacoma, Washington, and
Okay.
I moved to Arizona. First of all, let me back up a little bit. Well, I was introduced to a motorcycle by a friend of mine that told me he wanted to take me for a ride on the back of his bike, and he told me that my jeans would scratch his fender, that I could ride my own. He took me to the dealership. I bought my first Harley Davidson 1999 Sportster Custom, and got my license, and I went and picked up my bike, and I sat in my garage for 3 months.
Okay.
So that's
And
the
so,
start of how I started on two wheels, my two-wheel venture.
okay. And so before that, I mean, uh, when you were
my
growing up, I mean,
former
did you have
life,
a connection to the world?
no, my former life, I had been in the banking industry. I was there for 13 years. I got laid off, and I just kind of ventured out a little bit. And it's a small circle, so every time you meet one person and you meet another, somehow we're all connected at two wheels and four wheels. So ended up
Yeah.
meeting a two-wheel friend, and that's what changed my whole entire life to bring me current as of today.
Okay. That's phenomenal. So now, you know, we have a lot of great influences in our lives and stuff. And I know, we're going to pop a picture up. I think this is of you and, well, not you, but this is your mom here.
Yes.
And, I know she's not with us anymore, like my mom,
Yeah.
but your mom, um, that had to be tough for her. Mamas, they look out for their babies and stuff like that. So when you got into this sport, from everything I see and recognize, it seems like she was a great supporter of yours.
She sure was. She was probably my only family member besides my aunt and uncles that came to my race, and my sister too. She's a huge supporter, and my mom she didn't know much about what I was doing and how the process worked. When I red lit against one of my competitors, she thought I won because I crossed the finish line first, but she was the only one. Everybody was going, oh, you know how the crowd goes in and goes
Yeah.
down. They're all cheering for us, and then all of a sudden it goes down, and then my mom was like, she stood up. Everybody was sitting down. That's my daughter. That's my girl. And she thought I won, but I really didn't. I red lit. And it was in the finals in the All Harley Drag Race Association. I think it was in, I don't remember what state it was in, but so she didn't know the fundamentals of the racing, but she still was my biggest cheerleader.
Well, and the fact
She never
is,
asked me why I do it. She's the only one that never asked me. Like, my grandma, she called it a murder cycle. It's like, okay, grandma, thanks for leaving that imprint in my head.
sure,
My dad's not a huge supporter of the fast stuff that I do now. I mean, they're intrigued by it, but they've never been. My mom, she truly was. And then the other lady next to it, that's my Aunt Diane. So she was a supporter too. So
that's wonderful.
it's
So
great to have family to support.
how did you go from buying a Sportster, sitting in the garage for 3 months, to getting, on nitro fuel bikes and everything else? I mean, come on, that's a huge jump, and you did it in a short period of time.
I did. I guess my life is, I do everything fast forward. I was chatting with one of my friends, and he said he was going for a bike ride. And I said, oh, what kind of bike do you have? And I'm thinking it's a pedal bike, like one of those go fast pedal bikes. He goes, well, I have a Harley. And I was like, well, so do I. It's been
Right.
sitting in my garage. And, when you have a certain group of friends, sometimes you don't know what they do. You don't know that they play pool, they play pickleball, they ride
Sure.
motorcycles. I mean, there's that one group of friends that you just don't know about, how they live their life on the flip side. So he said he was going for a ride, and I said to him, well, I have a Harley Davidson too. Can I come with you guys and ride? I had only ridden my bike 3 different times as it sat in my garage. And he said, well, you have to ride to keep up with our group. And I was like, oh, great. I'll try my best. Well, anyways, I did my best. And one of the guys actually stayed back. And that's kind of what changed my life in the motorcycle atmosphere. Shortly after, I was, running with those guys that were really out of control, and they were, scraping their pegs and whatnot, going through the curves. It was just amazing. I was like, and then I started to do it, and I got, I got the fever for it. And then I started to try to keep, I was keeping up with them. And then one time I got out of control. I was like, okay, note to self, gravel and 2 wheels don't get along very well. I never crashed it, but I had a little come to Jesus moment.
Sure.
And then shortly after, I moved to Arizona, and I was going on all these bike events all over. I went to Sturgis, Laughlin River Run, the Four Corners Rally, you name it. I was there, in California. I was there for, what was the big one in California? I was there for that. And then I started working at the Harley Davidson dealership at downtown Harley Davidson in Tukwila, Washington. And that's where my life changed, really. It started working at the dealership, and knowing like a couple of friends grew into knowing hundreds of friends.
Sure.
And it changed my life.
It's amazing how, your life can blow up in the motorcycle world really quick. I mean, I was always dabbled, never a lot, but I was working for Hall Bikes Motorcycle Shipping, and the next thing I know, I'm hosting chopper shows at the Buffalo Chip and doing this and doing that, and it can be meteor, it happens so just overnight. And so, but yours, so much more unique because of the racing. And so, how did you step into the racing world?
Well, I took a leap of faith. I moved to Scottsdale, Arizona, because it was one of the places that I had visited in my bike rally. I went to Arizona Bike Week, and I had such a great time there. The weather was perfect. Like, we just finished with Arizona Bike Week, like within a few days ago.
Yep.
And it was just so perfect, the weather. And I was like, "Ah, one place I'm ever going to live, it'll be here in Scottsdale, Arizona." And
Sure.
about a couple of years later, I actually moved here, and I didn't know one single person here. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have family, nothing. And my friends from Washington were to come, they came to Arizona once in a while because, they had a place here. But I got to ride with them and I got to meet new people. And I never said no to go onto a bike ride. And well, maybe I said no, but still, never say no when you're a newcomer, and you're trying to be out there meeting people. And anyway, so I was told later I was out of control because I was racing with everybody else. And the guy told me, take it to the track. And you might know of him. His name is Nick Trask,
Yeah.
and from Trask Performance. And so
Yep.
he told me to take it to the track, and I did. And I never left. So that's how
That's
my
awesome.
racing started. My official racetrack without a ticket is on Scottsdale Road.
Okay. I love it. Well, I think, and a lot of people have similar stories, and especially the story, I love the fact that you moved to Arizona, didn't know anybody, but you just knew that this was calling you. And I hear so many stories of people who have achieved remarkable things because you're bold enough and have the courage to embrace something new without knowing.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of faith right there. That's a lot of faith in yourself.
That was
And
a
you got to
huge
have faith in yourself.
yes. And you have to go with your gut feeling. The older we get, we tend to have a gut. You got to go with your gut feeling, even though my gut, I don't have a gut.
I
But you got to go with
love
your gut feeling. If you feel something and you know something, it's like say something, you see something, you say something. It's like your gut is telling you, your heart is telling you. And I moved from my whole entire family. I have four brothers, a sister, my grandparents, and and my aunts and my uncles and my mom, my dad. But I
Yeah,
still did it. It didn't matter. I still have my area code 253 number till
right.
this. I
And
never
that's
forget that
Washington,
I'm
that's
a
for
Tacoma,
sure.
Washington girl.
I absolutely love it. So we got another picture. I came across this one. This one stood out because this is at Great Lakes.
Yes, it is.
You know
I
how
went
I know that? Because the road
wait
rage sign, and
7.9 seconds in that bike right there.
what'd you do on that bike?
7.909, 7.09.
Okay.
7.06 as well. I looked at my crew chief and I said, "Am I ready for the NHRA?" Because I was testing like a couple times a week there, and I was so antsy to get on the racetrack. And he goes, "No, you're not ready. You'll know when you're ready. You're not ready." And I had been making a bunch of 7-second runs, and if anybody has raced at the Grove, it was the worst horrible racetrack because you're doing a burnout, up a hill. It's
Yep.
so bumpy. It's so like short time distanced. And, I don't know what it is like now, but at the time that I was racing the bike, it was nail biting situations.
I'm sure because I've taken a car down there, never taken a bike down that track. So I see what you're saying. And it's not the best maintained. It's been there for a while, and they said they put so many other people out there that they end up tearing it up. They don't have good good stuff. So but
Yeah.
yeah, I recognize that as being Great Lakes, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's Union Grove, Wisconsin. So
That
right up
is,
the road
I
from us.
spent 8 months and I lived in a hotel with my dog Reckon, and today's his birthday.
Okay, that's awesome. So we're gonna pop another picture up to talk about. So, you know,
Oh.
I the thing is, I this speaks to my heart, working with kids and reaching out and everything else. Valerie, you go through the stuff you do and you do so much. You really do. You're an ambassador for this sport in so many ways. Um, and touching lives, you know, where you're going directly to it. You know, it's a different thing when you see guys, and don't get me wrong, I respect it, I've been part of it, that will go out and do a ride to raise funds. But going directly to the kids and your involvement like that, this is beautiful. So tell me about what you got going on here.
Well, I've always been, kid oriented. I don't have any kids. I have fur dogs, fur babies. I came across the hopekids.com here, which is local in Phoenix, a Children's Phoenix Hospital. And I came across the lady that runs it, and I said, I want to be involved. What do I do? How can I be involved? And she said, you could do this, you could do this, and there's so many options. They have so many options. I'm like, oh, I would love to come to the hospitals. I would love to come and support events that they go to. They go to the basketball games when the kids are feeling better. And these are kids with, severe, lifelong illnesses and cancer for little ones. And anyway, so I brought my helmet. I brought my autograph cards. I went to my local Harley Davidson dealership, which was Hacienda Harley Davidson here in Scottsdale. Rick Hatch, he said, whatever you want for these kids, bring it to them. And so I would go and get something that was nice and warm and fuzzy and something that they could cuddle up to. And then so they could keep and they could have it with them on their bedside. And so I would bring them pillows. It would be Harley Davidson, of course.
Yeah.
And so that was the incentive for me to keep going back, because he would keep giving these nice little things for me to bring to the kids. And in the meantime, I could, share with them my helmet, because my helmet is one of the most important things to me, because that helmet has a lot of thoughts. That helmet is so close to my heart. Every helmet that I have is so close to me. And I have a few words in that helmet.
Right.
I remember them all, but they've had some words, and good words, bad words. They've had great words. And my helmet's connected to my heart. So I brought that to showcase the kids, and for the kids that could put the helmet on, I would allow them to put my helmet on, to try it on, to see what it's like, just to give them the experience, because, they've been there for a while, and, the moms and the dads and aunts and uncles and grandmas were all there, and they were just like excited as I was excited to be there. So.
Well, it's beautiful, because the fact is that I've known some people that dress up as superheroes and go into the hospitals, and the kids love it. But you know what, Valerie, you are a superhero. I mean, you're doing incredible things and setting records. So for these kids, you are you are the hero, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
That's
and
nice. Thank you.
And I love this. I love the significance of the helmet too, because I know as a kid, my grandfather raced, and we would go to Indy and Watkins Glen, places like that. And I have this helmet to this day, and that helmet was so significant to me, because I remember the absolute joy that he was putting on, the excitement that he was about to go out and race, but there was also that bit of terror that he was going out and putting that helmet on. And that helmet would deliver him back, and it was very significant. So when my aunt gave me that helmet a couple of years ago, it was a huge thing for me. So I understand the significance of that. That's beautiful.
My helmet feels my heartbeat.
Yeah.
It feels everything else.
I'm sure it does. So let's pop into another picture. So I love this picture. This is one of the sweetest pictures I've seen. So
those are two great kids that, what, for every fan that I come across with the kids, like the mom and the dads, but if you can win over the kids' heart, you win the mom and dad heart. You are
absolutely.
Like their hero. And it's not that I try for it. I don't have the kids on my own. So these kids were the shyest kids, and a lot of kids are very shy, and I like to pull them in and like show them my trailer, get to know me, as just a person, not as a girl racer, but just as a person. And whenever I do my autographs to the kids, I get, eye level with them. And so at this moment, I always ask the kids to give me a kiss. I mean, nowadays, I don't know if I would do that because it's so different out there in this world. But back in those days, it wasn't that difficult. So
Sure.
it was more of a, they just enjoy it. They have fun. I want them to have fun. I want them to experience, me and the machine that I race. And I put the kids on my bike, and take them through a tour in the trailer and load them up with some goodies, autograph cards. As you can see, we have lanyards. They have lanyards on. And,
Yeah.
but to make those little kids to give me a little kiss on the side, I always tell them, give me a kiss on the cheek. It's my good luck. So it was always my way of showing that I need good luck too. I need some courage. Encourage me. Give me a kiss on the cheek.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love
It,
that.
it, it breaks the ice with them. If they don't give me the kiss, I don't ask them all the time or anything, but I give them like high fives. Give me a high five, and a lot of them are shy, and it just depends on the kid, But to turn them into a super fan, they'll remember me for the rest of their life, I hope.
Well, a kind word and a warm welcome does so much to kids, and you have a grace and a style there that I think is pretty remarkable, and I think that resonates with the young crowd and the old crowd.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. So let's roll into another picture.
Ah, she's back.
She's back. So tell me about She's Back.
Oh, oh boy. Well, I had a great opportunity after the All Harley Drag Race Association to join the NHRA, and it was so much like I got a chance. I've had a couple of chances, and that was the biggest chance to put on the Hope Kids event. And that's where those kids that gave me a little kiss.
Okay.
It was a chance for me to come back to showcase, what I had going on. We had an economy that went down in the tubes in 2008, 2009, and then some. And then I was given a second chance by a sponsorship to come back. And I came back, but I left real quick.
Right.
Because
Well,
it's not easy out there, it's not an easy place to be. It's not an easy environment.
yeah, it's a very competitive and tough space to operate
Very,
within.
yes.
And I think, people see the races, they see what's going on, but there's so much going on in the background. There's so many different tug of wars, and working sponsorships and everything else. I mean, and you handle it well. You do a fantastic job. You got a great team, behind you and stuff like that. So I want to roll into the next picture. So
Mondo.
yeah, Mondo, good. Mondo's a great guy. I love Mondo,
Absolutely.
and actually, I got to give. I think I owe him a call. I got to catch up with him because we got to talk about some things for Sturgis and stuff.
Oh,
So
I'll call him right here.
well, we should do that. He probably answered quicker for you. So, but anyhow, yeah, I just saw you there with Mondo, and it was funny because him and I were actually having a conversation at Sturgis this past year, and he was talking about going out to Bonneville,
Yeah.
how he goes out there and stuff like that, and he loves seeing you out there.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Yep. He just had come back from Sturgis, and I was out there, and well, Mondo and I were inducted into the Sturgis Hall of Fame in 2018. So
That's right.
Mondo and I, actually go way back when we were when I was in 2006, 2007, my first drag racing days is when I met him. So he had actually given me his room to stay, not his room, but a room to stay in with this big old dog. That was just amazing. I love that big old dog. And he was so nice. A couple of years later, he's like, "You can stay at my house," and he's just a great, just a great person all around. So
He's one of the best in the industry. But I've been doing the chopper show at the Buffalo Chip for a couple of years, and he's just so fun to work with and do stuff. And
he
you know,
gets more likes than I do on my page.
he's been around for a few more days than both of us combined. So,
I think so.
I mean, talk about a legend. I mean, so yeah, he's definitely a legend. But I love the graphics on the trailer. By the way, that's something we do as well, and we do a lot of graphics. And I just love when it's done bold and everything else. So whoever did that did a nice job for you there.
Thank you. I wanted it nice and clean, and like sponsors change, but Valerie Thompson, she's not changing.
No, not at all, not at all. So I want to bring up another one.
Oh,
So
Lord, yes.
so tell me about the better half and everything else. And I mean, and what a great picture! I just see joy there.
Absolutely. I'm always known for jumping. I do the jumps, I do the twist, I do a turn, I do the kick. I do everything and anything just about. And that was actually, we got married. My husband, Ray Garcia, is, I've been dating him for 12 years and married for almost 6 years. So out of that 12 years, but we had just gotten married after that. And the photo was just shortly taken after that. And so, yeah, he's been around. He's my first marriage. And
Right.
hopefully my only marriage, but it's my longest relationship. It's really hard to have a relationship in the motorsports industry. So it's, everybody says, "Oh, I can deal with that. I'm okay with that," but they're really not. So it's really a tough gig out there. But for us women, I would have to say.
I think it's a tough gig for anybody. And I think when you're in the spotlight like you are, that's difficult, and that's hard. That's hard for the other individual. Probably not so hard for you, but it's hard for them to manage everything. So, the fact that, he's been with you for so long says volumes about him, and just, the right guy for you. And and those are the best blessings of all. So, that's a beautiful thing. So how many speed records do you have now?
I have 10. I have 10 land speed records, and I probably could have a lot more, but I'm just all about the quality records, and every record is so well earned and so well cost so much money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I could go back to I could have kept it in the NHRA, and I could have kept going, and I could have kept that going. But to be in the record books and to be a part of history is what I wanted to do. And, and that's where my heart's at. I want history. I love history. And, to be the first to do anything is really hard because everybody
Sure.
expects more and more from you. To be
Mhm.
the first, female to go 300 miles per hour in a motorcycle streamliner, it sets a tone, and a lot of people want that too. So it's always hard to be the first.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes, when you're a female in this sport, I always hate seeing women get pigeonholed because female, Matter of fact is that you are a great competitor, period. And sex has nothing to do with it. It's heart, it's guts, it's determination. It's what's upstairs, and and that's what you have. And have this great competitive nature, and I love watching what you do. I want to bring up another photo here real quick. So
my girl, my sister of speed, Jessie
yeah,
Combs.
we kind of touched on this before we came on here, and the last time I saw Jessie was Builder's Breakfast, that August, and and for a lot of us, from the industry, that was during that rally was last time we saw her, because then she was off to go start testing and doing different things. So for you, I think that had to be, extremely hard. I mean, because now you were the torchbearer for both of you. And how would you say that's really affected your psyche, your determination, your drive, and made you feel?
This is a subject that is really hard.
Sure.
A lot of people, they can relate to Jessie in all different ways, and we all relate to people in all different ways. But to be the former, driver of the North American Eagle, I had never had a chance to actually drive and race it, but I've had 2 opportunities to turn on the afterburners and to sit in the cockpit to go through the instructions of this, that, the other. And so to know that she was the next driver, I was so excited, and I was blessed that another girl could actually get back in that car.
Right.
The team and I, things didn't work out as well as what we wanted each other to work out. And so it was just a great opportunity to be a part of such a great team. That team wears their heart on their sleeves. They're just, they're great people. And to have Jessie fill that role into the cockpit was like awesome. It was amazing. I was a cheerleader. I was a supporter. And, like, she's my sister of speed. She is the true inspiration for all of us. And just a very sad outcome for all the way that everything kind of happened. And
absolutely.
When I first heard the news, it hit me so much because I crashed the motorcycle that I was racing in Sturgis, or not Sturgis, in Australia at 363 miles per hour. And I got to live, and I get to share my story with so many different people and to talk about it. And Jessie doesn't get to live. And, it's just kind of.
And I know that's hard for you, and, but it's, I think it's important people, know how passionate you are about her and about, the link that you have. And, and you talk about people, they feel like they have, connections to people. And, that connection for you two is very, very deep, and, it's something that's, not going to be replicated by anybody else in the world. So, I appreciate you talking to us about it, because I think it's important. And I think it's important people know how it deeply touches you and everything as well. So let's pop another picture. So we were talking about this earlier.
And Jessie is the one that was the speaker for the Sturgis Hall of Fame. She knew how nervous I was, and she's like, "Girl, you got this." I was like, "Yeah."
Well, and what an amazing accomplishment. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you said, here you were, 1999. Is that what you said when you got your first bike? And here we are. We're not even 20 years later, and you're being inducted to the Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Wow.
Pretty
so
cool.
I don't know that that's actually. Do you do anything slow? Because you didn't get into the hall. You were in the Hall of Fame fast. You ride fast. You do everything fast. I mean, wow. I mean, this is pretty amazing stuff. All right.
It's
so
pretty cool.
yeah, and I'm just, I'm just so blown away by that, and the fact that you've had such a major impact on so many.
Yeah.
So really cool. So besides the Hall of Fame, besides the world, the world records and various things, tell me some of the other things that, personally you feel extremely proud of.
I'm extremely proud of, I guess the way that I operate. Like you said, I do everything fast. I didn't, I didn't know that I had that in me. I didn't know that that was an asset. I really didn't know until I look back and I'm like, wow, 17 years ago, I was racing down Scottsdale Road and being told I was out of control and listening to people and going with your gut and knowing that I have a gut feeling, knowing that I know how to use it now. Um, and then turning it around. And now, you know, Easter is my birthday and I'm starting a new journey in the pickleball world.
Yeah,
And I am like, I'm doing so awesome. Like I went from this level to this level in a short amount of time. And now
right.
I have a new level that I want to reach to get to like a professional level. And I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there in shortcuts because I do the work, I do the time. I'm grinding away 2, 3 times, a day of playing, exercising with pickleball. I
Right.
know it might sound kind of weird, but you know what? Hey, if NASCAR can have a sponsorship and have pickleball on their side of their court, pickleball is huge. It's
Absolutely. Well,
getting
and I
huge
think,
right now. And I want to be in the Olympics. I want to be in the Olympics playing pickleball. And every time I say to somebody and I make a statement, somebody always will say, Valerie, you told me you were going to be a drag racer. You told me you were going to be the fastest in the world on 2 wheels. You told me that you were going to do this. And I'm telling you and all your fans that I'm going to be a professional pickleball player.
well,
But
you're on the cusp. You're on the cusp of it now. I think let's pull up the next picture because there we go. Talk about pickleball.
yeah. I'm
So
in my fire suit with my first motorcycle, well, my second motorcycle, my Fat Boy, and that's the bike that I learned how to race on down Scottsdale Road. That is the bike. I still have it. I still ride it. Um, and that is actually my pickleball court at home.
that's awesome. So explain to people because there's still people who don't know what pickleball is. And as a matter of fact, our producer Cody, who knows so much, all right, wasn't too sure about pickleball. So you're going to educate Cody and the rest of everybody out there that doesn't know what pickleball is.
Well, pickleball was created in 1965 in Bainbridge Island, and pickleball is a combination of ping pong, tennis, and badminton. It's the world's fastest growing sport in America, and if the world's fastest growing sport can be with the world's fastest female, I mean, we go hand in hand. It truly complements my racing because my racing is seasonal in Bonneville, July through October, September. And it's too hot to play pickleball, but they have indoor pickleballs, places that you can play in now.
Right.
But it is going to be an Olympic sport. I 100% guarantee you it will be one day. I don't know any inside scoop, but so far I have 14 medals
I know you've got a
since
bunch.
I've
I
been
mean,
playing
you're
it.
already a champion pickleball player. And how long have you been playing pickleball?
I've been playing for pickleball for 1 year, and I started
Oh
playing
my
in tournaments in July. So if that says anything about
wait.
how fast forward I go, that's what I go. I go, go, go. And you know what? Coming from a family that has no interest in motorsports, going fast or, racing or anything, I didn't have a silver spoon. I had to grow with it. I had to learn how to develop, a sponsorship package. And thank you, google.com, for allowing me to learn how to create a sponsorship proposal and to get sponsors. And, that's how I learned. I was grinding away, and, so now I have pickleball. I
So
got
how did you
racing.
discover pickleball?
What's
How
that?
did you come to pickleball? I mean,
I was
so
using
one
it
year
for my
ago.
kids' regimen. I was a former tennis player in high school, and after high school, I played tennis. And my friends and I were playing tennis. And, here in Arizona, at 115 degrees, we kind of stopped playing tennis at 110-ish. And then many, many months later, they said, "Hey, I'm playing pickleball. You want to play pickleball?" I was like, "What do I wear for pickleball? What do I do for pickleball?" He said, "It's just like tennis." So anyways, that's how that happened. After the 8th time, a couple of my friends said, "You should build a pickleball court in your backyard," because we live on an acre property. And my husband said, "Yeah, we can have a pickleball court on the side by the RV, by the race trailer and the coach. We can have a pickleball court right there." So we measured it. It was on a Saturday, and on Monday we had 2 estimates. I even actually left and Googled who could develop our pickleball court. And I sent them an email. They responded over the weekend, and they were here on Monday, giving us estimates for the pickleball court.
Awesome. Now, does he practice with you? Does he get out there with you?
He does, but we don't play together. I'd
No.
rather stay married.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So
Married
well,
couples don't play pickleball with each other. We might dink, and it's called dinking, but we might, play practice. If he's going to warm me up for a tournament. I have a tournament tomorrow. I play singles, mixed doubles, and I play women's doubles too. So I have my singles game tomorrow morning.
I think you got to get your YouTube channel going for pickleball and all that stuff now.
I probably should. I'm working on some stuff.
There you go. Can't
But
wait to see
my
it.
heart is my racing, as well. It hasn't gone away, and if anything, it's made me stronger, more fierce, and it gives me so much more desire, not desire, but like I'm just more and more passionate about racing. And it's like I want to conquer the racing. I tell people I want to, because I'm converting in from 2 wheels to 4 wheels this year, and I'm racing a car streamliner, and the record's over 450 miles per hour. So I am telling everybody I want to retire over 450 miles per hour so I can play pickleball.
I love it. I can't wait. So that's what the future. So that's what the future holds for you. That's the next step. I mean, so so now, I mean, you're conquering the pickleball world, which I totally believe you're going to do. Okay, you conquered the 2-wheel world, and setting records. We're going to do the 4-wheel world next. I mean, what else can you possibly do? It seems like there's no cap on it. I mean, you have the mental fortitude, you have the sharpness of mind to be able to go do all these things. So it seems to me that I don't think Valerie's ever going to be able to rest and just relax. So I mean,
I don't.
what other things do you have cooking in your brain that you want to do?
I really don't. I don't know how to slow it down. I really would love to cook. Like, I love cooking. I love cleaning because it actually relaxes me. And I don't have anything else that I'm a person that I can only do one thing at one time, like in a career wise. I can overlap the overlapping of racing and my pickleball. Pickleball adds the fierce and the courage, and because the difference of pickleball and racing is that I'm in an enclosed cockpit. Nobody can see, nobody can hear me, nobody knows what I'm thinking. But when you're exposed to pickleball, everybody sees and feels your pain when you mess up. And in racing, there's no room for errors.
No.
In high performance racing and
Especially that, yes.
racing. In pickleball, it was so hard on me because every time I made a mistake, and I'm working on overcoming that, because in pickleball, you're allowed to make a mistake or
Right.
2 or 3. you're allowed to not score a point because of your oopsie moment. And so that's a really hard transition zone for me because it affects, this. And I'm getting much better.
Well, pickleball, in those sort of sports, it's mitigating the mistakes and just making less than your opponent. And if you can do that, you're usually going to come in on top, correct?
Absolutely. And if you can
Wonderful.
calm your nerves, like I get more nervous playing pickleball in a tournament than I do in my racing. My racing feels so nice and calm, and I can feel I can collect my nerves, and I can collect and I can control everything. But in pickleball,
I
that's
can,
a
but I
little
can see that, because you're getting different things thrown at you. The ball's coming at different angles, and
different
you don't
angles.
know what your opponent's going to do. You know what
Yours, mine,
the
yours,
bike's going to
ours.
do.
No.
Yeah. So, I had a few episodes back. We had a young gal on that's built her first motorcycle at 12, and started at 12, finished at 13. She was out at our chopper show. We got to meet Mondo and a bunch of the guys, and Dave Nichols and different people, and Jill Parham and stuff. And I loved having her on because I want her to inspire. And being a young girl, I thought it was so important to show that young ladies out there, can do anything. You have done so much. What kind of advice would you impart on not just young ladies, but just young people in general, about getting out there?
Um, being in a situation where, being in my role where you can empower people, and both to men and women. And, I love to share my journey and, what I do, and, and to encourage people along the way. That's a huge reward for me. So, like my best advice is to be yourself, be humble, and work hard, enjoy every moment. And, you know, there's going to be ups and there's going to be a lot of downs, but, like I've been through a lot in my career, but,
Sure.
you know, just keep that shiny side up and just keep that smile going. And you know what, if you know that this is what you want to be and who you want to be, you become that. Don't ever let it go.
I love that. And one thing I want to just let people know is that Valerie, I've seen out of you. I see the racer, I see
Yeah.
the competitor. Okay, I see the person that's playing pickleball, has been doing it for a year, that's knocking it dead. Um, but I've seen pictures of you going out on the town. I see a person who's so multidimensional. You can get behind a, you can get behind the wheel of a motorcycle and go 300 miles an hour, and then you can dress up to the nines and go out on the town and be a lady. So multidimensional, and I think that's people don't understand. That you can be a lot of things, and you are. And I just want people to know that about you, because I think it's quite unique, and I think it's quite special.
Well, I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. And and also too, I want to add is that in my racing career, the teams that have been with me that have, we've separated or we're still together, they're the people that help and make my life and my position easier, look easier, I guess you could say. But
Absolutely.
they're the real heroes behind the closed door. I just get to showcase what I do best, and I just get to be myself. And when I can be myself and I can be Valerie and not
Right.
Val. I don't like Val, but I like Valerie. I like when I can be Valerie, I can, though, all my team and the team that I have working with me, former, past, whatever, and future, they are the true superstars. And along with all my supporters and my sponsors. And so those are the people that help me get where I'm at today.
And it's that attitude you have that makes them want to make you succeed.
And
And
like
be the people
I
in the
come to
background.
these teams and I add sparkle to them and I add some sunshine and they feel like I'm a fresh breath of air. They're like, ah, yes.
Absolutely.
They make
So
me shine. So
so we have a thing we've been doing with our guests. So we ask 3 questions at the end of the interview. And
oh no.
we're gonna put you on the spotlight, like we haven't already. Okay. But they're actually pretty simple questions, but they always have some interesting responses, and and I think it's kind of fun for our audience and everybody's out there.
Takes his mama say moment.
So my first question, it's a simple question. If you had the opportunity to go riding, riding your motorcycle, go riding with anybody, dead or alive, who would that be?
Oh gosh, I don't have
It's a tough one, I know.
oh I don't
There's
know.
no wrong answer, of course. You
I
know
know
this.
there's
It's
no
not a
wrong.
contest.
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh my goodness. We just found the first thing that Valerie's not fast at.
I know I passed that one.
Oh,
I like that one.
so should we come back?
Well, maybe we'll circle back and
All right, we'll circle back around to that one.
okay.
So now this will be an interesting one for you. So
Okay.
if you could have any bike, any motorcycle, okay, what would that be?
It would be a custom BMW S1000RR that looks like Harley Davidson.
Oh my goodness, you didn't even have, you were fast on that one. We got your mojo back because that was fast. All right, wonderful. And then if you go riding anywhere in the world that you haven't been, where would you like to go? Where's the one place in the world you'd like to go riding?
Well, the one place that I have been riding is in Germany, and I would love to go back there because they have some awesome scenery and awesome roads.
Yeah, they do.
I've been to Garmisch-Partenkirchen many
Oh, I
many
love Garmin.
Garmisch. I've
Garmin
been
is the
there
best.
for the BMW motorcycle rally, the BMW motor days, and my favorite place to ride is there.
Okay.
I don't know. My favorite place that I would want to live in my next lifetime would be in London. So I
Okay.
would love to go somewhere in London to explore, but being on the Island Man TT to go slow would be
Mhm.
probably my favorite. Would probably the one I would want to do on a Harley Davidson.
Okay.
Or on my sport bike. I still have my BMW S1000
I love it. Now,
I
if you go back,
would love to do that on the Island Man TT.
okay, I like that. That's a great answer. And if you go back to Garmisch, you got to do the hike. You can do a hike and go up to where they did the scenes from The Sound of Music and everything. I don't know if you got a chance to do that.
No,
So it's pretty cool. It's like, wow, Julie Andrews was here, and this is the opening scenes of that movie. And that's just a beautiful.
Thank you for reminding me of one person I would love to ride with. It would be George Clooney.
There you go.
George Clooney. You just nailed
Right.
it. I was trying to think of his name and I was like, oh my God, I'm trying to blank. Nespresso, because he's a spokesperson for Nespresso coffee.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
I
That's
drink
awesome.
Nespresso because of George Clooney. Now, if my
Wonderful.
husband would be a George Clooney, I would be okay.
There you go. So I think there's a couple other people out there that might have the same answer. So I love it. So, well, Valerie, you've been a beautiful, wonderful guest, and we so appreciate you coming on. I hope everybody will follow you on Facebook. Make sure you stay with Valerie, check her stuff out, buy Valerie's gear and everything. Go to the website because that helps support her career and everything she's trying to do. So I really want to encourage all the knuckle busters that are out there to follow us. To go check her stuff out. and, follow that career. And, maybe we'll circle back around after we
After I
we
go
get 350
450 miles per hour.
450 miles an hour. There you go.
I can't
So,
come back until I go there, right?
okay, you hit 450, then we're gonna talk about doing 450. How's that sound?
Okay, that's it.
All right, wonderful. Well, folks,
I'm not
it's been a
going
while.
500. I'm not going 500 miles per hour. Well, maybe if I can squeeze
Well,
some
maybe.
out of it. Why not? I'm not going to say I'm not
I'm
going to.
not going unless I can. Is that's got to be the answer? Okay, I'm not planning on it, but if I do, okay,
I'll squeeze some change out of it, mile per hour.
there you go. I love it. So, well, once again, thank you so much for joining us, and it's been a great time. Thank you.
Thank you.